In a quiet rural part of West Virginia sat a small town called Maplewood, a place surrounded by dense forests, creaky old barns, and stories that made people whisper even in daylight. A girl named Kara Evans lived with her father, Reverend Thomas Evans, the town preacher. Kara's mother, Sarah, had died during childbirth under mysterious and disturbing circumstances. Villagers claimed Sarah had always been unusual. She spoke to shadows, sang strange lullabies to her unborn baby, songs that no one could understand, something about demons, creatures, and not answering if the beast calls your name. When Sarah finally gave birth, she died almost instantly. The room was filled with a terrible stench, and strange, black blood oozed from her body. Reverend Evans returned home to find his wife dead on the floor, and something even more disturbing, something had chewed the flesh off her legs down to the bone. The baby survived. That child was Kara. Years passed. Kara grew into a beautiful young woman with an unusual charm and unsettling presence. She was 21, yet still attended high school due to starting her education late. A new teacher, Daniel Brooks, had been assigned to teach in Maplewood High. Young and idealistic, Daniel moved from Charleston to this sleepy, eerie town. Despite the difference in age and roles, Daniel and Kara grew close. Too close. One rainy afternoon, the two sat by the edge of the woods, away from prying eyes. Daniel looked uneasy. "Kara, we can't keep doing this. If anyone finds out, I'll lose my job. Then marry me. Who cares what they think?" "It's not that simple," Daniel said, glancing around nervously. "You're my student. I'd be finished if anyone saw us." Suddenly, they both heard something move in the trees. "Did you hear that?" Daniel whispered. "Relax. It's probably just a raccoon." "No, someone's watching us." Daniel stood up and cautiously stepped toward the trees. Kara followed, but within seconds he was gone. "Daniel?" she called, her voice trembling. There was no response. She searched the woods frantically. The air grew colder. The forest seemed to close in on her. Then she saw it. Daniel's body. Half-eaten, face mauled, chest torn open, he lay in a pool of blood, his eyes wide open in terror. Kara screamed. She ran home, drenched from the rain, heart pounding and guilt choking her throat. Reverend Evans had just returned from a funeral service. When he opened the door, Kara collapsed in his arms, sobbing. "Daddy, Daniel's dead. They killed him. Someone or something in the woods." She confessed everything, her secret love, their meeting in the woods, and what she saw. Reverend Evans went pale, not from rage but fear. "You promised me, Kara," he whispered. "You promised you'd never do what your mother did. I warned you not to go near those woods." He walked into his study and locked the door. The next morning, Kara brought her father tea. She knocked. No answer. She opened the door to find him hanging from the ceiling beam. A suicide note lay on the table. "I tried to keep the curse at bay, but sin has returned. Let God forgive what I could not stop." The whole town gathered for Reverend Evans' funeral. Nobody knew what had driven the kind preacher to take his own life, except Kara. The town elders, concerned about Kara being alone, arranged her marriage with Bradley Morrow, the son of local banker Earl Morrow. Bradley had a history of violence and alcoholism, but the townspeople saw the marriage as charity. Soon, Kara found herself trapped. Bradley beat her. Earl tried to touch her when Bradley wasn't home. She had no escape. One night when Earl came to her room drunk, she told Bradley. His response? "You slut. I know you liked it. You and that school teacher always begging for more." That night, Kara stabbed Bradley in the gut. Over and over. Earl walked in on the bloodbath and tried to run. Kara chased him to his room, kicked the door open, and grabbed him by the neck. Her eyes glowed red. "I promised my father I wouldn't show my true self. But you, and people like you, make it impossible." She crushed his windpipe. The next morning, the Morrow house was silent. In a different part of Maplewood, A young boy named Aaron played in the fields with his friends Benji and Tyler. They flew kites and joked about ghosts. Aaron's sister Nina passed by on her way home from school. "Be home before sunset, okay?" she said. "I will." But Aaron's kite got tangled in the old orchard near the Morrow's land. The boys dared each other to go retrieve it. Eventually, Aaron climbed the tree. But something was wrong. The wind stopped. The air chilled. A whisper echoed. "Aaron." He slipped, fell, hit his head. When he awoke, Earl Morrow stood over him. Only Earl was dead. Aaron screamed. He was buried alive by a demon in human skin. 13 days passed. Aaron's parents went to the sheriff. Nothing. They questioned Kara. Nothing. One night, Aaron's father Jack went searching the orchard. He found a dug-up patch of earth. Nearby, he saw movement. It was the ghost of his son. Jack ran home, weeping. That night, the lights in Kara's house flickered. The ceiling fan spun violently. A voice echoed through the halls. "Where's my body?" Kara screamed as Aaron's ghost appeared. "You buried me. You left me to rot. Now it's your turn." Her screams echoed through Maplewood. The next morning, the sheriff found the Morrow estate abandoned. Blood everywhere. No bodies. They say on stormy nights, if you walk past the old orchard, you can hear a girl singing to her unborn child. Don't answer if he calls you. Don't open if he knocks. And sometimes, you hear digging, someone trying to claw their way back out.